I am the coordinator for the first New Mexico chapter of Heroes on the Water here at Elephant Butte, New Mexico. Very proud to be and proud to serve our veterans, law enforcement, active duty, firefighters, and first responders. Uh, I, after the military, I was a military police officer at Fort Bragg. Pretty tough duty. Lots of action there. And then I was deployed to the Grenada invasion/rescue. That's why I have this sign with me. It's very important to me that people know that 20 of some of our very best soldiers from the United States gave their lives as part of that operation, and 154 were wounded. Many amputees. Unfortunately, when I came back from the invasion, I found out that it had all been pretty much dumbed down and slashed down to a big nothing. I've heard it called many times, especially by Hollywood movies and shows. They seem to find it a great thing to use to try and make it sound like nothing really happened. So it's very important to me that people know that something did happen, and that those men, that especially the ones that gave all, are honored for their services there. We rescued over 500 medical school students, many of them from the United States, and got them back to the United States safe and sound after a military coup in that country executed the democratically elected government and was taken over by communists. When we came back from that conflict, the everything that was going on TV and in the newspapers was all about the big nothing and how President Reagan should be impeached, and we were a bunch of imperialistic bullies. So it was our job to take all of our emotions about what had happened and just stuff them down in that steel box every soldier is issued and lock it up tight. And we just went back to work being soldiers. With the 82nd, that meant training every single day as if you're going to war tomorrow. I really enjoyed my time with the 82nd, but when I came back to civilian life, I had a hard time fitting in. I was used to that camaraderie. I was used to being a military police officer, carried the rank of my commanding general, and now I was looking for work. For many years, I struggled with trying to be normal back in society. It never really worked out for me. After two failed marriages, I was living in my car, and I was an alcoholic and a drug addict. My dog and I would go and get work, even though I had managed to go from just being a sign painter and billboard painter. I had worked my way up to being my own boss and doing custom artwork on custom motorcycles, airbrushing and pinstriping. Um, in this culture, I was able to drink and use drugs while I worked. It was no problem. And I thought that I was going to be fine now that I'd gotten myself into that situation, but I wasn't fine. I was still extremely angry. I didn't sleep, and things just got worse and worse. Finally, I realized that I needed help. I called the VA, and they directed me to an Alcoholics Anonymous group where I did get sober. After that, I went back to the VA and asked to please get some surgeries on my legs. I was having a lot of trouble walking. I was falling down a lot, and my legs just didn't work like they were supposed to anymore. There was a hitch to getting my surgeries, and that was that I had to see a psychiatrist. I was not happy at all about that, but it was a package deal. So I did see the psychiatrist. They did get me medical help, but they also made me start seeing a counselor. The first two lady counselors that I saw told the director at the VA hospital that they were not interested in seeing me again. I was just too big and too angry. So he hooked me up with a counselor who was a Vietnam veteran who wasn't the least bit afraid of me, and we developed a friendship that was necessary to launch me into a new life. However, the VA, after I got my leg surgeries, started giving me medications to try and help me sleep more. And those medications just started layering one on top of another to change my mood, to try and get more sleep, to try and stop the nightmares. After 2 years of sobriety, I had the worst nightmares I've ever had. My dog and I were living on a boat in the marina here at Elephant Butte Lake, and the engines were frozen up, which is why I was able to afford it. But it was a great place to get out of the cold in the winter and be under some shade in the summertime. So I had those worst nightmares, and my dog was now actually so scared of me, waking up sweating and fighting, that he had dug halfway through the door to the cabin cruiser, trying to get away from me. Um, I went back for 10 more years of just trying to do some controlled drinking and drugging. And I thought I was doing okay for a while, but it ended up just like it did before. So I guess the way to sum it up is that a friend of mine who had moved to Mexico and was also a veteran told me that I should try going down there for a while and living a little bit cheaper. I had been working with veterans here in the States for about 8 years, and had formed up a pretty good group, but not being sober anymore, I wasn't that great to be around all the time, and there were some blow-ups within our nonprofit, our non-nonprofit organization, and so I said, what the heck, and I moved to Mexico. I just started drinking a lot more because it was cheaper, and eventually I started going to a church down there, and I really enjoyed it. But after 4 months of going to church drunk and high, I realized that I still had a real problem. So I hit my knees and I prayed to God to please take away all of my sins and to help me get straight so that I could be of better help to my fellow man. The message I got from God was, you've reached God. Please get back to us when you're not completely hammered. And so I got up off my knees and I went to see the pastor of my little church in Mexico. And he led me to an AA group on the beach, which was amazing. We got to look at the ocean and watch the dolphins go by as we talked about trying to get straight. I did get straight, but this time it was different. This time I turned everything over to God. And I knew I could not do it on my own. I'd tried too many times, way too many times, and it was not going to work. So I just went the other route, and I have managed to stay sober now for a little over 3 years. I'm living a much better life. Last December, I was contacted by an old buddy from my unit who had become the coordinator for a chapter of Heroes on the Water in Maryland. And he said that I really needed to speak to the national coordinator, that she was expecting my call. He had seen our posts on Facebook and thought that we were an ideal match for this organization. As of the 1st of February, 2023, we became a 501c3 and the first chapter of Heroes on the Water in New Mexico. We are growing steadily. We have many Hobie kayaks through the Zia kayak dealer here, who is also a veteran, who has bent over backwards to give us dealer cost and slashing discounts to get us going. We are up and running. We have a lot of campouts. We have monthly trips on the water where we take veterans, active duty, law enforcement, firefighters, and first responders, and more importantly, their families, out kayak fishing. And we have campouts, and we sit around the campfire until late. I think we've lost track of the number of times that a veteran who could not get that frown and I'm going to kill you look off their face would finally sit around that fire until late at night, and then the words would come, and then the emotions would come. And before you know it, they're part of the group, and they're helping other veterans. We're very proud of that, and we want to keep that going. So that's why I'm reaching out with the help of Miss Watson and get this video out there and let people know that there is help. There are people that understand you, that through this life, we will have your six, through your personal life, through your professional problems. If you need help getting an upgrade on your military rating with the VA, we've got people that we can hook you up with. There's all kinds of help here, but more importantly, there's people you can hang out with and feel comfortable around. Nobody is going to say a single word about the problems that you're dealing with and what level you're at, or ask you exactly what your service was and whether you should qualify. That's the most ridiculous thing that exists, is the idea that someone needs to qualify in a certain way to get help after being a veteran, because at one point you signed a check payable up and to including your life to serve for this country. So you deserve all the help that we can get you. It's not easy to get help from the government sometimes. When we started helping other veterans from our PTSD group here in Elephant Butte, when COVID hit, they shut down our group. Obviously, they shut down all groups. But the problem was that when COVID was over and it was time to get back to our Tuesday mornings that we all looked forward to very much, our clinic here in Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, was not funded to continue those PTSD groups. Also, the one-on-one counseling that we were receiving had become extremely limited. You were only now allowed 4 half-hour sessions per problem that you were having, and then you had to requalify all over again with a new problem to see if you could get some more counseling, which, again, I have no idea who came up with that, but it's absolutely ridiculous. So with the government not being able to help, we just decided that we had to do something ourselves, and this has been a very successful way of trying to fill that gap. A lot of the people from our original PTSD group are now and still involved with us in many different ways, and we have a lot of new members. We've had 75 different people attend our functions during our first year, and we have anywhere from 20 to 40 people at any one of our monthly get-togethers. Heroes on the Water has 16,000 volunteers, over 53 chapters in 26 states, and 66,000 of our heroes have been helped through this program. Some of the numbers that are coming back that we're very excited about, over 90% of veterans who have been involved with this program say that it has helped them with their personal lives, with their professional lives, that it has helped them to be more mindful, and they are living a better quality of life now. So I'm going to say that that's a big success. Please look for us online through Facebook. If you need more information, please go on heroesonthewater.org to get all the information you need. And I have to plug our local group, please. If you are anywhere in New Mexico or our area and you want to attend or you want to donate, please contact our local chapter and we will direct you on how to help us get the money that we need to pay for the kayaks and the trailers and the fishing equipment and everything that we have purchased, so that we can start getting those donations towards our monthly events instead of to try and just pay off our setup. Thank you very much for your time.